Welcome back to the Jet Setter. I'm Tyson Rauch. After 2 weeks, the New York Jets are 2-0, which is a great start to the season, especially considering that both games were at home, a place the Jets have always struggled. But before we go into this week's matchup against the Raiders, let's look back at the good and bad for the last 2 weeks. We'll start out with the good. Dustin Keller is off to a Pro Bowl start, almost like last year. He's got 11 catches for 162 yards with 2 touchdowns. Keller has clearly been Sanchez's go-to guy, which is awesome, as he can open the middle of the field, which should spread out the rest of the field, which is actually not happening right now. But Keller's off to a tremendous start. Santonio Holmes, another solid start, consistent route runner, doing a great job being a go-to guy for Sanchez when Keller's covered. In terms of offense, that's probably about it at this point. I don't think anybody else is really doing the job or exceeding expectations. On defense, I want to start out with Bart Scott. Bart Scott's doing a tremendous job as he's being used in different ways the last couple of years. Bart Scott's more in the line of scrimmage, making plays at the line of scrimmage and the backfield. I believe Bart Scott, 2 sacks, but he's getting pressure on the quarterback. He's making impact plays, which is something that hasn't been asked to do the last couple of years. Other than that, Jim Leonard's been great. It's great to see him healthy, first of all. But Jim Leonard's been very active in terms of calling the signals, getting to the line of scrimmage, making plays in secondary. Also, Kyle Wilson's doing a great job, too. Kyle Wilson was, kind of criticized a lot last year for his lack of performance as a first-round pick, as a rookie. But this year he's picked it up, and the reason why you know how he's picked it up is nobody's talking about him. He's making plays, he's covering his guy, he's showing confidence, which means no headlines, which is a good thing for him. Other than that, you want to look at Nick Folk. Nick Folk has a solid start. He's 5 for 5. I was waiting for my expression that he folked it, but he hasn't folked it yet. He's done a very good job, actually. Kickoff's been consistent. He's making big kicks. So they're off to a good start. In terms of the bad things, I want to start with the offensive line. The Jets are known as a ground-and-pound team. Run the ball, protect Sanchez. They haven't done either. Starting off with running the ball, the Jets are, 28th in the league in rushing. It hasn't been pretty. In terms of protection, they've given up 10 hits to the quarterback and 5 sacks. Not good. Sanchez is running for his life. Sean Green has no holes. In terms of overall performance, it hasn't been good. Yes, the Jets are 2-0, which is great, but in terms of their performance, it's not to their standard. The standard is being one of the best in the league, and right now they're not. Granted, Nick Mangold is hurt, and that's a huge, huge blow to the New York Jets. He's not going to play this week against the Raiders, which is a big blow. And Wayne Hunter struggled too. Wayne Hunter's replacing Damian Woody, and let's be honest, he's not doing. He's doing okay, but he struggled. A couple of penalties. He's whipped in some blocks. DeMarcus Ware owned him, which is not surprising because DeMarcus Ware is one of the best defensive ends in football. But at the same time, he's whiffing on blocks, which Sanchez is getting smoked. Let's just be honest, he's getting smoked. He's taking huge hits where Chad Pennington will be out for the year already. Let's be honest. So the offensive line has struggled. The running game has struggled. Sean Green, who may not have holes, at the same time is running kind of hesitant. The power that he's known for, the dragging the ball, dragging the defenders and everything else, he's not doing that. So in my eyes, I'd start Tomlinson because you know what? I want a guy that's going to run the ball with some kind of explosive nature. Right now, Sean Green's struggling. You can say what you want, but that's my eyes. Other people that are struggling in my eyes for the first 2 games is Brian Schottenheimer. Let's just be honest here. Plaxico Burress and Derek Mason have caught minimal passes. The passing game has been somewhat of a joke. Sanchez is going to Keller, which has been open, or Santonio Holmes. But other than that, Plaxico Burress hasn't been involved in the offense. And neither Derek Mason. I don't think it's too hard to do that. The Jets have gone to a 3 tight end set to offset the pass rush or to establish different things, which is great. But at the same time, Plaxico Burress is a threat in the red zone. Let's be honest. With his size and everything else, he's a huge target that throw the ball, he'll get it. Derek Mason in the slot or wherever else can get open, get on the ball. At this point, to take these guys off the field for a 1 receiver set or a 2 tight end set makes absolutely no sense. And that's why you can't run the ball. You can't run the ball because you're predictable. And Brian Schottenheimer, in my eyes, is failing the Jets in that point, and he's failing Sanchez. Because the defense can find out what's predictable, and they're getting past the offensive line, and they're hitting Sanchez. I mean, he's taking huge hits. So you know what? How about this? Try, spread the field out, run the ball. Do not be so predictable. And Plaxico can catch every pass. I mean, he's been double teamed by the Jaguars, which is fine. If he's double teamed, get the ball to Mason, get the ball to Santonio Holmes, spread the field out, keep the defense honest, and then you can run the ball. It all kind of goes hand in hand. What everybody wants to talk about is the play of Mark Sanchez. He struggled in the first game in terms of making the incorrect read or throwing an interception, and the same thing happened last week. Mark Sanchez, in my eyes, is doing a pretty good job because he's dealing with a lot of things, and the most important thing is a consistent pass rush. There's penetration at the lines, making roll the pocket out. Sometimes that's called, sometimes it's not. But when it's not called, he's doing his best to either run for a first down or run for positive yards or to make a play. But the bottom line is his pocket hasn't always been clean. So sometimes the interception is on him, sometimes it's not. So when people try to criticize Sanchez, I don't think it's always warranted. I think he's doing the best that he can, and I think the fact that the Jets trying to incorporate two new receivers with Burris and Mason without really any kind of training camp, the training camp they did have, they were both hurt, kind of hurt Sanchez a little bit. So before you start ridiculing Sanchez, I know the Yahoo report that came out saying Sanchez is the most overpaid player in football was complete nonsense. We're going to use a different word, but we're trying to be professional here. Sanchez is doing a good job. It's just, it's an offensive line is struggling, the running game is struggling. You're trying to incorporate two new receivers. It's not going to be easy. But you know what? The Jets are still winning, though, so it's a good thing. At the same time, he's got to do a little better of just trying to absorb the pass rush, find the open receivers, and I think at the same time, Brian Schottenheimer's got to do a better job of play calling. Spread the field out. Don't be so predictable. I mean, to have a one receiver set in a running formation is absolutely ridiculous. To have a one receiver set in a passing formation is absolutely ridiculous. Don't get too cute for yourself. Play the game. You know, call the same play until somebody stops it. How many times did Patriots call the same play over and over and over until somebody stops it? It's about moving the ball and getting points. And right now, the Jets' offense is kind of in limbo a little bit. It can get straightened out. I'm not pressing a panic button. It's only 2 weeks after the lockout and everything else. But at the same time, Schottenheimer's got to open his eyes up and realize all the weapons he has and what he can do with it. Going forward, we have the Oakland Raiders this week, which every expert is predicting the Jets to lose this game, actually. Everybody's saying the Jets are going to lose. West Coast trip. Nick Mangold is out. Nick Mangold's not going to fly out. He's staying here in New Jersey to recover from his ankle injury. There's a couple keys to this game, and they're pretty obvious. The first thing is Nick Mangold's replacement, Colin Baxter, is going to have his hands full. The Raiders' interior linemen are great. Richard Seymour, Tommy Kelly. The Raiders are going to test Colin Baxter over and over and over again. And that means the rest of the offensive line has got to step it up. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Jets go in a shotgun formation, maybe go two tight ends. You got to find a way to offset the pass rush. You got to. Not even the pass rush, just any kind of, just find protection for Sanchez and for the running game. The thing is, in terms of offense, is the Jets should be able to run the ball, though. I mean, the Oakland Raiders defense, while they are physical, there's holes. I mean, if the Jets can try to find ways to expose the secondary, like the Bills did with Ryan Fitzpatrick, you open up with the passing game, Plaxico, Mason, Santonio, then pound the ball with Sean Green. There's holes there. So while everybody's going to focus on Baxter and everybody getting worried about that, quick slant passes, keep them honest. When they're trying to pass rush, dump pass, screen pass to Tomlinson. There's ways to get around it. So don't fall in mud early on and then ruin your whole game plan. In terms of defense, it's pretty obvious in my eyes. Darren McFadden, he's second in the NFL in rushing. The Raiders average 160 yards a game in rushing. They want to run the ball. Michael Bush, they want to run the ball. Stop the run. Jason Campbell may have looked good the last 2 weeks. He's Jason Campbell. Come on, seriously? Jason Campbell. Stop the run, hit Campbell, force turnovers. That's it. The Jets, you have all the talent in the world to do that. So, in my eyes, the Jets can get to McFadden. He's a shifty runner. My biggest concern is the screen passes. They got to watch him coming out of the backfield, or Michael Bush coming out of the backfield. Any of these guys coming out of the backfield. Watch out for the short passing game. Kevin Boss is coming back this week. Kevin Boss hasn't really had the chance to show his skills. Giant fans know who he is, but the Raider fans haven't seen him yet. The Jets have to make sure either it's Eric Smith or whoever else, cover Kevin Boss. Don't give Jason Campbell an easy way out to expose the Jets defense. Not expose, take advantage of Jets defense. So stop the run, pound Jason Campbell, and move on. I think the Jets can win this game. I'm not buying the whole West Coast slump and everything else and all this other nonsense. The Jets are a better team. They're kind of riding a little kind of weirdness because their offensive line struggles. But at the end of the day, they're a better team. I think they're going to win this game. My prediction is 24, I say 17. One thing to keep in mind, though, is Muhammad Wilkerson is hurt. He's got a shoulder injury, which has kind of been reported but not really talked about a lot. Keep an eye on that. Muhammad Wilkerson had a safety last week. He did a very good job. But at the same time, if he's not playing, you think Kendrick Ellis may step up, or I'm not really sure who's going to step in for that. But I'll probably assume Kendrick Ellis. Keep an eye on it, though. In terms of going forward after that, Jets should win this game 3-0. You had the Ravens after that. You had the Patriots, which is it's a brutal road schedule. But we'll go week by week. Before we go into our sponsors, I just want to talk one thing, and that's called the UFC. The UFC this Saturday night is John Bones Jones against Rampage. While my producer, Joe Bastone, who I want you guys to all check out on Facebook, Joe Bastone, is very high on Bones Jones and Josh Koscheck of winning these fights, I'm going the complete opposite. I'm going to take Rampage Jackson in the upset. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. He likes Matt Hughes. And I will take Josh Koscheck to beat up Matt Hughes. So for any UFC fans out there, check it out tomorrow, Saturday night. Should be good fights, good card. The Rampage Jackson in the upset. Other than that, check out the L7 tailgate. Good time. I've been there the last 2 weeks. It's a who's who of fans. It's been a great time. There's been celebrities showing up. Joe Grinweiss, he's the L7 Panda. Great guy. Very cordial people. Open to all fans. It's been a great, great, great time. The Fisticuffs combat gear, I'd like to thank them very much. They got new shirts coming out. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to wearing them. You guys should buy them. They look great. I'd like to thank Matthew Rosario for my new logo, which you guys should all see with this video. And check me out on Twitter, TRauch21, or on Facebook, Tyson Rauch. And you got any questions, comments, concerns, whatever you want to talk about, send me a message. I will talk to you. And that's it. Let's go Jets.